Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ACW Beyond the Yard. I am your host, your truly Derek Destroyer, the White Ranger, the Doctor of Backyard Wrestling. And I hope you keep enjoying our podcast episodes because we have a lot in store. Especially tonight, we're going to find out who will be my next guest. And I know you guys already guessed from the thumbnail, but my guest is the 5-time and current CMW World Champion. He is the one-time World Heavyweight Champion, and he is going to main event Crash Carnival not once, but 2 times and 2 years in a row. Congratulations, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome BXB.
Wow, man, that was one hell of an introduction. Hello, everybody. Hello, Derek. It's great to finally be here. I know it's been a long time coming. I know It wasn't the easiest thing to set up because of the time zones and everything, but
Exactly.
Happy to be here finally. It's something I've wanted to do for quite a long time now, ever since you first introduced the show. So I'm excited.
I'm glad to have you. Could you believe ACW is now worldwide?
Yeah, that's right. First ever, I believe, the first ever worldwide backyard wrestling promotion. That's pretty cool.
Right.
That's a cool thing to have.
And it's going international.
Yep, that's right. If only we could take the wrestling international, right? That'd be sick.
I feel like that's possible. We just have to wait for the right time,
It could be. Right now, it's probably not possible because of everything that's going on. But,
Yeah, the
never say
pandemic and all
never.
that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
never say never, especially with wrestling, anything can happen.
Right, and before you know it, Derek Destroyer is going to have a match with BXB.
And it will go down as probably the greatest backyard wrestling match of all time. That's right.
Right. It might not be a 5-star, but it'll be probably a 6-star if you can pull it off.
For sure. For sure, man. For sure.
Right. It will go down the match of the year.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It'll be up there for sure.
It will indeed. Like, for sure, it might not be big as Maximus Roman versus Matt Thunder, probably.
Yeah.
Or, it just depends.
Yeah, it may not have as much hype as those matches, but once we actually do it, and if it does turn out to be an epic match, then hopefully the fans will recognize it, and it'll go down in history as one of the greatest matches of all time.
An American backyard wrestler versus an Australian backyard wrestler. The match that we thought we would never, ever see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just got a nice ring to it, isn't it? Like, international backyard. Sounds great.
Like, 2 wrestlers from 2 different countries, yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Right, I just can't wait to see what happens. I mean, if I could travel to JNA, I'm sure I could travel to CMW.
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe if they put a discount on the flight tickets, then sure, maybe one time it'll happen.
I heard that the plane tickets are cheap right now, so...
Ooh, yeah. But I wouldn't risk it right now with everything that's going on.
Exactly.
But, it'll in the end, it'll be worth all the money, in my opinion.
Right.
It'll be a great experience.
Right, it is. Okay.
Yeah, great experience for you, for the fans, and for me. It'll just be great for the backyard wrestling community in general.
Right, because if you think about it, we are the future of YouTube wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, YouTube wrestling. I saw that thing that Maximus Rowan was talking about.
Right, Maximus Rowan.
Podcast.
He was the one that said it. But I was the one that spread it. So, yeah. But
for sure.
I know a lot of wrestlers are making their podcast things, but, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I encourage them. Just, like, just don't try to steal my spotlight. Matt Thunder. I was kidding. Maximus Roman.
Yeah, you started the trend. Remember, I told you.
Right.
I predicted this. I said, all right, now Derek Shaw's got a podcast. It's going to take off, and now there's going to be lots of other backyard wrestlers doing a podcast. We got Maximus Roman, Chase Andrews, and I have a feeling there's going to be many more.
Right.
And yeah, it's not that's a bad thing, It's not as if everyone's copying each other. Right. It's great for the community, more content in these times when maybe wrestling, like we can't film wrestling because of what's going on. We can just film podcasts, and I think that's great.
Right. And like, if you guys want to be in Beyond the Yard, just hit me up. I'll put you on the show. Then boom. We might not have a match, but I'm sure we're going to have hell of a time.
Hit up Derek Destroyer in those DMs if you want to be on this show, guys.
Right. Hashtag Beyond the Yard.
Yeah, let's get this thing trending. Worldwide.
All right, here.
Worldwide.
Exactly. Worldwide, international, whatever you guys call it.
Gotta love it.
And before you know, Beyond the Yard will be trending number 1.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Absolutely.
Right. Are you ready, BXB, to dive in some questions?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
For.
What got you into wrestling?
It was my dad that introduced me into wrestling back in 2009, and the first show that we watched was WrestleMania 25. And
nice.
That's, to this day, that's still one of my favorite WrestleManias. But one match in particular that got me into wrestling was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. Like, we loved that match. That was probably...
That was a beautiful match, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the greatest match in WWE history. Yeah.
It is.
It was ever since then, that WrestleMania, where we just got hooked onto wrestling. And, you know, I started watching every show, Raw, SmackDown, Superstars, pay-per-views. We'd buy the pay-per-views, everything. And then we'd get, like, action figures, T-shirts. We'd go to the shows when they came to Australia. And, ever since that one WrestleMania, my love for wrestling just, like, blew up. And I've been a fan ever since, so...
Oh, nice.
And especially now, I discovered more, like, promotions, because I think it was back in 2016 when companies like Ring of Honor and New Japan just got a huge boom in popularity.
Right on.
Yeah, and I just started discovering new wrestlers, new promotions, and started getting new inspiration and everything. So my passion for wrestling in the last, like, 3 years has really taken off.
Okay. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, especially now, my favorite promotion, New Japan. I've discovered so many wrestlers there that have inspired me and played a role on, like, my moveset and how I think about wrestling. So, you know, I'm very happy that I actually discovered wrestling, because honestly, I don't know what I would be doing without it.
Right. What is your favorite federation to watch in the yards?
Probably I'd have to say EBW. I mean, I love the production of the content. I love the whole editing, the whole storylines. I just think it's really entertaining to watch.
It is.
Yeah, them. I'll put MEBW up there. I also love to watch MEBW.
Okay.
But truth be told, I don't really watch a lot of backyard wrestling. Like, I'll tune into enough to know, like, who's the champion and what's been happening and what matches are coming up. But yeah, like, I don't really watch the weekly shows as much. I mainly watch the more important shows.
Like the big events.
If there's something that has gotten the fans talking, something that has gotten a lot of attention, obviously I'll have to tune in for that. But yeah, in my spare time, I'll just try and watch the more important things, yeah. But yeah, EBW I definitely put up there as one of my favorites to watch.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. But, like, you do watch, like, other federations, like if they do big shows?
Yeah, I've even watched ACW, of course.
Oh, nice.
I know what you guys are all about. A little bit of ACW. I think I've watched a little bit of BFW.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I haven't really... I mean, I probably should be watching more backyard wrestling content. But if I have more spare time, then I'd definitely be watching a lot more stuff.
Okay. Who would you say is the best backyard wrestler of all time?
Of all time, it's got to be Matt Demorest, or... How do you pronounce it? Demorest? Is that right? I think that, yeah.
Probably, yes.
Anyway, yeah, he's definitely the best. I mean, you watch his match and you can see his moves are just, like, on a whole nother level. They're completely different. They're completely innovative. And I haven't seen anyone in, like, the last 5 or 6 years that can be able to do the moves that he can do.
Right.
And he's just one of those once in a lifetime competitors that, you know, really shaped the backyard wrestling industry. Because if you search backyard wrestling, the chances are you will find Matt Demorest. And yeah, he's just on another level for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What would you say was the worst injury you ever had while wrestling?
Well, I've been pretty lucky when it comes to injuries. I haven't had anything that's really
major.
Affected, like, everyday life. Like, let's say I haven't had an injury that's stopped me from walking, moving my hands or anything.
Oh, nice.
The main injuries I've had are just, like, in ring, like
you got hurt.
Like, yeah. One of the main things that come to mind is in Crush Carnival 2019 when I faced Callum Dark.
All right.
And he hit me with this stick, and it was like no ordinary stick. It was like one of the biggest sticks in the pile,
and it was pretty thick.
Yeah, definitely. Before the match, we, like, separate the sticks into two piles. We got one pile of the sticks that you should be using in the match, and the other pile are like the really big, dangerous sticks that we only put there for display.
Okay.
And it came to the part in the match where Kellen was going to hit me with some sticks, and I'm watching him, and I'm like, this dude better not get sticks from the do not use pile. And he picks up the biggest stick in the pile, and he just relentless, just strikes me with the stick as hard as he can. And it was, oh man, it was definitely the most painful thing I've had in backyard wrestling, and it left this huge red mark on my back. And if you watch the match over, you can see me trying to pull my shirt up to show the mark, because like I'm not going to get hit with a stick that big and just not let people see the huge mark left on my back. So yeah, I'm desperately trying to pull my shirt up to show everyone the mark. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely something that is probably, I'd say, the worst I've had in my career.
I mean, I could relate.
But yeah, overall, I've been pretty lucky when it comes to injuries, especially considering I have such a reckless style. Like, I take a lot of neck bumps, a lot of big falls, but I haven't had anything like too major, which is pretty surprising to me.
That's actually pretty good, because like the whole point is like you're supposed to get hurt, but like not too hurt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a few big risks in the match, just to elevate the match, but you know, I don't do things that take me out of my comfort zone. Everything I do, I'm comfortable with doing, and yeah, if it's not safe, I'm not going to do it. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why I haven't been injured like really badly.
That's pretty good.
But you on the other hand, everyone knows the injury that you had, that knee injury.
Right.
That must have been. I can't imagine what that would have been like.
Man, it sucked because one, I got injured in your knee, and like it kind of sucks because like I won't be able to wrestle or walk for like a month.
Exactly, and one of the things, it happened in your dream match, which is like just worst case scenario, isn't it?
Now that you mentioned that, like I got injured when I traveled.
Yeah, that must have been really stressful. Like coming home with a knee injury.
Right. I was like, how am I supposed to tell my parents?
Can't imagine that. Imagine if it happened if you came to Australia. Like you come down here and you like break your knee. Oh, that would be.
I know.
Unimaginable. Yeah.
That would suck, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, any injury would suck.
Right. I mean, like an arm, like I understand because you could like still walk and like you could wrestle. You just have to be careful. But with the leg, like you have to be out of action because like you need to be able to walk.
Arm and shoulder injuries. Yeah, arm and shoulder injuries are pretty common in wrestling.
Right.
I think a broken wrist or something, that's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like what'd you do? Dislocate your knee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been really bad. Pretty bad experience. Was that the most painful thing you've had in your life, or have you had worse?
Yeah, I mean, like I broken my arm in the monkey bars in, I would say second or third. No, it was first grade. Like I was trying to show off the girls, so like when I fall, like my arm bends and like in a way that it's not supposed to bend.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like I have like got injured in the worst ways. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's times where I've been really lucky, but sometimes I haven't been really lucky.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, I've been really lucky. There's been a few parts where I could have potentially gotten seriously injured, but I somehow got away with not like getting out of it unscathed. So I've been really lucky in my career.
Right. Like I'm just glad.
I take a lot of risks in my moveset, in my moves, and like big matches. If it's a really big match, I'm gonna pull out all the big moves. And yeah, I'm just surprised that I haven't had any big injury.
Right. Like if I do travel to CMW, like I'll like give you all the best. Like I'll give you like every ounce of sweat, ounce of oxygen, and all that. But like I try my best to not get hurt. But yeah.
Yeah, if it's a big match, you got to pull out everything, and even if that considers. If that means going out of your comfort zone and doing things that you probably don't normally do just to make the match a little better, like that's what it takes.
Right. I mean, the fans will appreciate it, you know? Like, they got to give you credit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because, like, not a lot of wrestlers could do that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And speaking about CMW, like, cause I heard, like, cause we were talking the other day on the phone for like the first time, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, for you guys, it was like what, like the morning, nine in the morning. No,
No, it
it
would
was
have
the
been
other
at.
way. I woke up
It was
6 in
yeah,
the morning, and over there was like
yeah.
9.
It was like midnight for me.
Right,
No, actually, no. It would have been you got actually yeah. You got up in the morning.
right.
Man, it's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. It's
The,
setting up this podcast, working out all the time zones and everything. It wasn't easy. I
right.
can tell you that much.
But at least we're managing to do it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I managed to find time. You managed to find time.
Right.
Definitely wasn't the easiest, but here we are.
I mean, like I'm like what? If you're hearing this right now, it's like 12:41 in the morning.
Yeah, well, it's 1:41 p.m. for me in the afternoon.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely weird how it all works, but
Right.
it is what it is.
As I was saying earlier, like, because you told me that where you guys wrestled is it's your guys' home, right?
Yeah, on the farm. That's where I work. I work on the farm, and that's my place. Yeah.
And you guys have like a big ass field and all that.
Yeah, we got lots of room to do lots of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean it's nice scenery too in the background when we're doing our entrances. I like that.
Right. In the future, were you guys planning to do something with the field or no?
Well, the closest thing we've actually done to that was back in 2019 and in 2017. It was me versus Axel, and we did like a compound fight, kind of like a Hardy compound or Bray Wyatt compound thing, just in our work shed. We went out at night and started filming like a bunch of stuff. But yeah,
When
doing a fight in the
when was
orchard
that?
is.
I want to look that up.
We did it like halfway through 2019 last year, and we did it back in 2017 as well.
Do you know when it was called or what it was called?
It should just be called BXB Fights Axel in the Compound, I think. You'd probably want to watch the 2019 one because when we did it back in 2017, I was really bad at editing, and it definitely going back and watching it, it's definitely
Is it between
probably
you
not
and
the
Axel?
yeah, that's the one.
Okay, yeah. Or it's just compound fight, yeah.
Yeah, but fighting in the orchard is something that I've definitely wanted to do, and I
Uh-huh.
think if we get the right storyline, we could
Mhm.
actually pull it off and
Right.
make it pretty entertaining. Similar to what EBW has been doing with the Death or Silence stuff,
Right.
like little cinematic things like that. I definitely want to do.
Like me too, like especially in ACW because we're planning to do something like that now. But like
Yeah,
the thing is,
I
one,
remember you telling me.
I'm injured, which kind of ruins the purpose,
Yeah.
and two, of the thing that's going around the world, which like stops us.
Yep. Yep.
So we have to
I mean,
delay it or postpone it.
definitely an unfortunate time to be doing this type of stuff with this coronavirus.
Right. If I'm correct, I think I was having an episode with Matt Thunder, and like we were talking about how like we started doing shows with no fans, and like the WWE and
Yeah.
AEW copied us.
Mm. Yeah, they can learn from us.
Right.
Like that's just how we roll. That's how we do it. No crowd, we can still produce this amazing content.
Right. Like we might not have the fans, but like in a way, the fans are still watching us.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Having fans at Backyard Wrestling would be pretty interesting, though.
I mean, it would be pretty good, especially if you're doing a crossover, like friends or families arriving.
Yeah. Like we've had a crowd before, but that's only like 7 other family members. I wouldn't really count that as a proper crowd, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a good atmosphere to get like some chants going and stuff.
I mean, like you guys tried your best because like you guys don't want to do like a bad performance in front of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But I just hope, like, because like a lot of people want to do like films in backyard wrestling, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just imagine the stuff they could come up with.
Oh yeah, the possibilities are endless for stuff like that.
Right. Because I don't know, I think I told you this the other day, but like, I told you that I was writing a wrestling movie.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I should say anything about that. Like, don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, you showed
Well, I
me
mean,
the
like,
whole
I'm
script.
not gonna say it, but like, I'm just gonna let the guys know that we're writing a movie, which is not gonna
Yeah,
say what it's
I'm looking
about.
forward to it. I reckon
I
that'd be
mean,
pretty interesting.
it's a backyard wrestling movie. That's what I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, something like that would definitely be pretty interesting to watch, and I think the fans would love it.
They would, and like also,
Yeah.
I think I told you this the other day. No, maybe I didn't. But like, it's gonna have some cameos and references.
All right. Yeah,
Right,
that
like,
like I said, there's so many possibilities that you could do in a movie like that, especially considering you've got like freedom to do whatever you want.
exactly. And the funny part is, it's gonna be based on a true story. It's gonna be like based on me,
Yeah,
basically.
even better, even better.
So like, people are gonna know like how it felt, like my journey.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be definitely be an interesting watch. I'll definitely tune in for that.
Because like, not a lot of people like understand backyard wrestling like we do, but
Yeah,
like,
exactly, exactly.
I feel like
Like
the film. Go ahead.
people can just judge backyard wrestling and say, "Oh, it's just kids wrestling in the backyard," but like to us, the backyard wrestlers, it means a lot more than that, you know. And I
Right.
think it's been talked about many times before. I mean, what is there to say that hasn't already been said? Like
Exactly.
people who don't do backyard wrestling don't know what it's actually like to be for us, you know.
Okay.
Just people we're like when we're not old enough to actually start doing pro wrestling and stuff, we got to do backyard wrestling. Like that's the only option, and that's what we're doing here today.
I mean, we do this to have fun, meet new
Yeah,
friends.
exactly. Like while we're still young, still in our childhood, and doing backyard wrestling and stuff, creating content like that, it's just a lot of fun to do as you're a teenager.
Right. Like,
Just like it's a cool hobby, especially for me.
right. Because, like, I might not be doing sports at the high school or
Yeah,
something like that, but, like, if you think about it, backyard wrestling is considered as a sport.
yeah. I actually think backyard wrestling is more fun than doing all these other competitive sports because, like I said, you got freedom to do whatever you want, to create whatever type of content you want, and
Exactly.
it's a great platform to share like your interests in wrestling and stuff like that.
And, like, you could tell the story. Like, that's when you could be you, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and like you with this movie, you
Uh
can
huh.
tell people the story that other people wouldn't understand, and making this movie would definitely clear things up for those who don't know what backyard wrestling is actually like.
Right. Like, I'm not going to shoot on school sports. Don't get me wrong. Like, I did cross country and track, which I was pretty okay
Yeah,
for, like, the second year. I mean, I placed at
yeah,
whack and all that.
yeah,
But what was I gonna say? Like, it's just the thing I like about wrestling than other sports is like it doesn't have an off season.
yeah. And with backyard wrestling, like I said, you got that freedom. You can do content whenever you want, wherever you want. Pro wrestling, like you said, doesn't have an off season, and that's what sets it apart from other sports.
Right. Because like there's how do you say? Because like if you think about it, like not a lot of people could do backyard wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Sure, people could do football or cross country or cheerleading, but like not a lot of people could
Yeah,
like go out there, kick some ass, get your ass beaten, like get bruised and all that, get hurt, and keep doing it for like
yeah,
365 days, but like almost every single week. Let's say that.
yeah. Well, I think anyone can do backyard wrestling, but you've got to be like to be talented, to be good at it. You
Right.
definitely got to be a pretty good athlete
Like
to
they
like
could
show.
do it, but like the thing is how long they could do it for.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's easy for people to just go out and go on the trampoline and film themselves wrestling, but you look at guys like MBW, EBW, you can tell they're taking it a lot more seriously, a lot
Right.
more professional, and yeah,
Like, all right, let's say someone, how do you say? I don't know how people actually say this phrase, but like if somebody was in my shoes, right?
yeah,
Like if they got injured how I did, they would have been, you know what? I'm tired of this. I don't want to risk it.
yeah, yeah.
While me on the
And
other
the
hand,
people,
like I'll worth like no, I'm saying it wrong. Like I would like get the risk of getting hurt, get injured and all that, and still
yeah,
get back up. So I could show people that, oh my god, like this guy could actually like get hurt and still get back to the yard.
yeah, and it just proves to all those people that say wrestling is fake. Like you showed them an injury like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, guess this
Right.
isn't actually."
Like I could say something like, oh, wrestling's fake, then I could be like, well, you watch movies and all that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, well,
I saw this post the other day. It says like bitches that says that wrestling's fake, then they go on YouTube and watch two YouTubers doing a fake marriage or something like that.
yeah.
Hmm. Like a lot of people believe all this stuff on YouTube is like real, but like in the wrestling world, like
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah. And like I said, many people don't understand the concept of wrestling.
Exactly. It's like Shakespeare if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
There's the
It's a
good guy, there's the bad guy, there's a plot, there's a story.
yeah, it's a performance art, but it's also like got a sport aspect to it. Except for WWE, they're not really like a real sporty type thing. They're just entertainment.
Yeah, like if you want to talk about sports, let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's a sport.
Yep, and AEW.
Right. Because like WWE, like let's say at the Attitude Era, like that felt like a sports field, you know?
Yeah, like
But not,
WWE is the biggest company, but I feel like
they're misusing it.
AEW and New Japan take it more seriously.
Right. The thing I don't like about WWE is like they're not using pro wrestling or wrestlers, you know?
Yeah,
In,
didn't they ban the word pro wrestling?
they did. And the thing that freaking doesn't
But
make sense and pisses me off, they say that they don't use pro wrestling even though that's what you're doing. Like, what the hell?
yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know what was going through their mind when they made that decision, but you know, it is what it is.
Like, I like the crazy segments they do, but like I also like good matches.
Yeah, at times it can be entertaining, but then they do some stupid segment that's kind of like, oh, why am I watching this? You know?
Right, like which one was like the worst segment? Like probably like the Rusev and Lana and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, it's definitely going to appeal to some people. Like, there is people that actually like that kind of stuff, but when
Like there were
a
some
fan
parts
like,
where they were good. Uh-huh.
yeah, like a fan like me who watches it for the wrestling aspect, like wrestling point of view, it's
Right.
definitely, oh man, what am I watching?
Like what do you think of people that say wrestling is fake?
Um, well, like you know, if they say it's fake, just show them like one of those compilation videos of like the most extreme moments, and then it'll probably
Right.
make them realize, oh yeah, you know, this actually isn't fake. Like show them a death match, for example.
McFoley. Just show him McFoley and boom.
Show them McFoley, show them like I said, yeah, those Japanese death matches that all have all the thumbtacks and the blades and stuff like that. Like
Right.
you can't fake that. There's nothing fake about that.
I mean like what we're doing is entertainment, but it's still
Yeah, and
sports related.
I think Chris Jericho summed it up really well in that quote. He said like fake is such an unfair term to the wrestlers because like people think it's fake, but people are actually getting injured and risking their lives for it. So I think Chris Jericho summed it up really well.
Right. And if I'm correct, just give me one quick sec. All right. This is the words of Chris Jericho. Fake is not a word I like to use because there's nothing fake about what I do. It's a show. It's a predetermined outcome. We're putting on a television drama, action, comedy, whatever you want to call it, but it's not fake. Fake would be if I was just about to take a body slam, but my stunt double does it. Fake would be if I was gonna get a chair shot to the head, but the chair was made out of rubber. I'm telling the world that it's a show. I hate the word fake. It's such an unfair term to us. That's a
Yeah,
really good quote.
yeah, he summed it up really well.
Like I just don't understand why people say that. Like there's been a lot of people that have died that got seriously injured from it.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, people are risking their lives, and some actually have career-threatening injuries. Like look at Edge, for example.
Right.
He had that really serious injury, but people still will call it fake.
Uh
They
huh.
don't understand.
Like I just like don't understand why people say that.
Yeah,
Like people say like tennis is a sport. It's just a ball that goes back and forth. Like you don't see me calling it a sports ball, even though it is. It's a sports
yeah,
ball.
yeah. Like I like to see those people that are calling it fake getting into the ring and like taking a chop or something.
Right. Like if people say it's fake, take a chop from Walter.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like people like don't know the struggle, like how difficult. Like it
Yeah,
might not be like the toughest sport, but like it sure is a difficult sport to do. You know.
yeah. That's what people don't understand. Like it takes a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to actually get to the top
Right.
and actually be successful in the business.
I mean, like, think about like some of the backyard wrestlers that like have taken things wild or like that have put on
Yeah,
great performance. Like, none of that would have happened if they tried their best.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
When you were in school, have you done any sports, or were you not a sports guy at all?
Yeah, I did Australian rules football. I don't know if you've heard of that actually. AFL, have you heard of that? Like the Aussie rules?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I did that up until grade 6, but I kind of gave it up because it wasn't my thing. But I mean, I've always been a pretty athletic person. Like I love
Nice.
doing like this school sports carnivals, like 100-meter sprint, long jump. I love doing stuff like that.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, like recently I've been doing a lot of gymnastics. Well, I wouldn't call it gymnastics. Like I don't pay and go in for lessons and stuff like that. I'm self-taught. All I have is YouTube videos and a mattress, and that's how I practice all my flips and
Nice.
things.
Because that's what I was gonna say. Like, how did you learn to do flips and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's it definitely is a long process learning all this stuff. Like you got to overcome a lot of fears. Like I was scared to do a backflip, and I only learned how to do a backflip in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like overcoming that fear is definitely not an easy thing.
Right. Like,
So yeah,
the funny part is like I taught my wrestlers how to like do some of the maneuvers. Like I like back then I taught Phoenix how to do the 450, and now I can't
oh,
even do the 450 anymore.
yeah,
Then I had a wrestler by the name of Johnny the Crusher. I was the one that taught him how to do a shooting star press, and I can't even
yeah,
do it anymore. But he could.
yeah. So you're the one that teaches all of your roster how to wrestle and stuff like that, are you? You're the
Yeah, pretty
teacher.
much.
Oh
Because
yeah,
like I might not. I have never went to a wrestling school. Like no one has ever taught me
yeah,
before I went to JNA. But like I have done research.
yeah, yeah. Neither. The nearest wrestling school to me is 4 hours away, so I can't really go to do any training or anything.
I mean, I could relate to like because where I live is like in the middle of like the West.
Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere too. I'm just in the country on a farm.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, if there was a
Anyways,
wrestling school
uh huh.
close, if there was a wrestling
Yeah,
school close, I would probably be doing lessons and stuff like that.
yeah. Because I could see you doing like half line, like from the top ropes and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd definitely love to get in a ring and try out and see what I can do.
You know what maneuver you should try to hit if you could?
Yeah, yeah. What?
The red arrow if you could.
Oh, I can. I used to be able to do it in the trampoline, but I've forgotten how to do it. I think one time I landed awkwardly, and I was just like, "Nope, I'm not doing that again."
I mean, like, cause like if you someone tells you how do you do a red arrow, like it's complicated. Like
It's
it's hard to
yeah,
describe it
yeah. It's like a shooting star press, but with a twist.
and a flip or something.
Yeah,
And what was I gonna say? Crap, I forgot. Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
I remember. Like, what's that maneuver called? Like, oh yeah. Anyways, I was trying to do a shooting star press, but like I almost landed on my head.
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Right, because like
When
that
he
dude, like he was like far away.
yeah, just like the fact of Brock Lesnar doing a shooting star press is just amazing. Like a guy that big shouldn't be able to do a shooting star press.
Exactly.
Like that's scary.
I think he was really good at it like around like 2001 or two.
Yeah, didn't that used to be his finisher or something? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I
did
didn't watch.
before like he became like the Beast Brock Lesnar. He was like
Yeah,
actually by the name of something else. I don't remember.
yeah.
What would you say was the OMG moment you have ever done in CMW?
Um, Probably for me, it was the first moonsault off the ladder because at the time, doing a moonsault was like something that I've been scared of for a long time. But when I finally did it off the ladder, I thought it was really cool. But in general, I think my biggest IMG moment is in the match coming up this Tuesday, Crash Carnival 4. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was a really big spot that was kind of like super crazy, something that I've never really done before.
Right.
You just have to wait and see. I mean, you'll know instantly what it is when you see it. But
I will indeed. Don't forget to check out CMW. The link will be down in the description.
yep, Crash Carnival 4. Oh, actually, no, this podcast will be out after Crash Carnival. So hopefully you guys all tuned in for that match. Uh,
Right.
it was, in my opinion, the greatest match in CW history. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out.
I could tell that will be one of the greatest CMW matches I've ever seen
Yeah,
once it comes out.
I mean, I've been waiting since January for this match because we filmed this match back in January. It's April now. That's 4 months I've been waiting to film.
That's crazy.
This match, because if you follow CW, you know that our schedule is like non-existent. We don't have a schedule. We only film when we have time. And right now, when I'm working and putting up with weather, I don't really have time to film content anymore. So Crash Carnival 4 was meant to have 3 matches, but we only managed to film 1. And it's taken all this time to actually get it uploaded. So it's been a long time.
Right. I mean, I can't blame you because, like, you seen our Yardomania too?
Yeah, I think so. I think
our original plan was to actually have 3 matches, but like since some of the wrestlers didn't show up, we actually had to have just 1 match, and that was the world title.
Yeah, like same thing for us. We have big plans, but they just never come about because we just don't have time to film that much stuff.
Was Crash Carnival supposed to like come out early? I mean, like before April? Or...
It was meant to be in January. We always have it in January, but ever since Destiny last year, which was meant to be in April, that got delayed, and then with that event being delayed, it delayed everything else. Like everything else just got postponed like 2 months. So
okay,
our timeline is like completely ruined right now. But we're still uploading stuff. We're not going to stop.
I mean, like that's good because like oh crap, what was I gonna say? Like it's better to delay it than rush it.
Yeah, for sure. And the good thing is, in between all these events, like we have a 2-month gap between filming matches, and that gives us a lot of time to practice. And that's why in our matches we have all these like crazy sequences, because we got all that time to practice and make up some insane spots. And yeah, that's how we managed to pull off all these crazy back and forth sequences and stuff like that.
Would you also say that OMG moment was also a crazy moment, or what would you say?
For sure, it was definitely crazy. I I got a lot higher than I thought I would get on the jump. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a big jump. Yeah, it was definitely one of the craziest things I've ever done, and it definitely was up there with one of the biggest OMG moments in CW.
Well, I'm glad you had fun doing that match. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, actually, speaking of OMG moments, I think you and I both know what the biggest OMG moment in CW is. That was Tom Nicholas getting hit with that stick
right in the nuts.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that one.
Right.
Oh man,
like that was just like a beautiful moment. Like damn.
Every time I watch that back, I just can't stop laughing. It was such a good.
Right.
Is there a way you can like play that over the top of this podcast? Because I
feel like I'll play right now.
As we have a look at the replay here, stick collecting Tom. Look at Tom flying high, Turbo Carnillo. And, oh my God! No!
Tom!
No!
How is Tom alive?
I feel like the people need to see it.
Recording.
Yeah. It was, oh man, that was such a good moment. We replayed that video like so many times. We have it in our intro video and everything. It's just so good. One of the biggest OMG moments for sure.
Now that you mention it, I was actually watching it in school, and when that happened, like the first time, like because it happened so fast, like I didn't really understand what happened. Like, oh, did he hit him in the knee? But with the slow motion, like because there was like 3 kids that were sleeping, and I was like, like and they all woke up. It was pretty funny.
The commentary was so good on that. Because at first we played it off like, oh, he's been hit in the ribs, and then the replay came up, and we were just like, oh my God, you know.
I mean, like that's what I love about wrestling. Like even the commentary, like makes it good.
Yeah. The commentary is definitely what makes a lot of the great matches like really good.
Right, like it's not just the wrestlers, but like the referee, also the fans. We had fans, but mostly also the commentary.
Yeah, it's actually really fun commentating matches because we make a lot of references to like WWE, like make fun of the commentators there. It's just something really fun that we love doing.
Like especially in ACW, I always like to do like the JR, you know, like good God Almighty. Like
and the Mamma Mia. Everyone loves doing the Mamma Mia.
Like you can't be a wrestling fan and not say good God Almighty, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Would you agree with me that JR is the voice of wrestling?
Yeah, definitely. He's probably the most iconic commentator ever.
Right. But I can't believe, because wasn't he commentating for like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 years, if I'm correct?
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time.
Right,
He's
especially
like,
from like the 70s or 80s,
yeah,
if I'm
and the
correct.
fact that he's still going today is pretty cool. He's not as good as
Mm.
he's like right now as he was a few years ago. Like he's
Right.
like he's slurring his words a lot, but I mean, you know,
Uh-huh.
he's JR. He's a legend.
I mean, you got to give him credit. Like, sure, like some wrestlers might be old, but like some of them could like still do it, you know?
Yeah, except for Goldberg. He's
Right. Like, did you see what happened with him versus The Fiend?
oh my god, that was
That was terrible.
that was embarrassing.
He couldn't even lift them up. Like, I was like, just,
Yeah, like
oh my God.
the Fiend kicking out of what was it, like 6 curb stomps, but in one botched jackhammer. It wasn't even a jackhammer. It was a suplex, a brainbuster,
Right.
and that was it.
And like the thing that caught me like laughing and crying was like when Goldberg trying to let his leg, he was just pulling his tights.
Yeah, exactly. I think there was one match worse than that though, and that's Goldberg versus Undertaker.
Right.
You,
Where
you,
like they almost tried to kill each other.
yeah, you remember that match, right? When it was just like
Right.
it was literally a whole episode of Botchamania.
That is. I love Botchamania.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Espe-
a backyard wrestling Botchamania.
Heck yeah, that would be funny. You know what I love about Botchamania the most
Yeah, well,
is the Simpsons one.
oh yeah. I like the you talk too much when it shows the wrestlers talking to each other.
Right.
I love that.
Then like they play the music in the background, like you talk too
Yeah.
much. What?
Yeah.
You never shut up.
Yeah, it's such
But like for real, I would love to see a backyard version of Botchamania.
Yep, somebody get onto that. Somebody make that.
Like I might work on that for ACW, probably for CMW as well. I
Yeah,
could call it like
in
BYW Botchamania.
Yeah, in the past, we've actually uploaded a video called CNW Botches and Bloopers where we just upload all of our outtakes because when we're doing all of these sequences, we actually mess up quite a lot, as you probably imagine.
Right.
Because like our matches are so fast paced that sometimes we forget things, and we've actually got like I think 2 videos on that, just uploading all of our botches.
Uh-huh. I mean, like you can't have a good wrestling without a botch, you know.
Yeah, nothing's perfect, especially in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, sure, when people like see botches, people say, "Oh, that's fake." Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, sure, they might mess up, but like, at least they still do a good performance.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when you botch. Some people are good at like fixing botches, but sometimes they're just unfixable.
Right. Like, which one was the terrible botch that, if I can remember?
You see that that one botch where the guy did the double moonsault, the double rotation moonsault, and he just landed on his head.
Oh yeah, that was a nasty.
That's probably the worst botch I've ever seen.
Oh no, the other one, the one I was talking about, is the Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal.
yeah, the whisper in the wind. Oh my god.
Yeah.
was...
I just like how like when like Jeff Hardy does it, Drew McIntyre falls.
Yeah, he didn't even hit him, but he still sold it.
I know, like
why would you
like
sell
Michael
it?
Cole? Michael Cole was like a whisper in the wind. Matt Hardy, I mean Jeff Hardy does the whisper in the wind. Freaking Jinder Mahal out of nowhere, he just like falls.
Yeah, and Michael Cole tried doing the usual cover up. Oh, I don't think he got all of that.
I mean, like in wrestling, like if someone botches, like I understand that they say like I don't think he connected all the way because you know like it could be true.
Yeah.
But like the one in NXT, had you seen the Aleister Black versus Lord Sullivan?
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad.
He missed him by like a good meter, and he still sold it.
Right. Especially the women's triple threat match. That was a botch.
Oh yeah, the main event.
Like I like the idea. I just don't prefer them main eventing. You know.
Yeah.
Like, cause I want to like leave WrestleMania being satisfied or being pissed, not like frustrated. You know.
I mean, I understand the whole women's revolution thing, but I think they're taking it a bit too far.
Like that should have been like the second main event, you know?
Yeah, like the semi main event, second last.
Mm-hmm. Or if they were doing the like too big for one show, like how they were doing it for WrestleMania 36, like for one night, that would be an appropriate time to main event.
Yeah, just like even it out.
Exactly. But damn, like the ending was terrible. Like Ronda Rousey's shoulder was like way up.
It was clearly up, yeah.
And like I thought they were gonna like restart the match, but like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was it.
What I was supposed to tell my teacher tomorrow that my wrestler kicked out even though the shoulder was up?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Which one would you say was the best WrestleMania you ever watched?
25. Oh, yeah, 25 probably is the best. But up there, I would also have WrestleMania 30 with the whole Daniel Bryan story. That was definitely one of the best.
The WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most iconic moments that I've seen over the past 10 years.
I would say the best WrestleMania, if I'm correct. I would say, oh crap, I forgot which one it was. WrestleMania. No. Yeah, it was WrestleMania 20. Crap, I can't remember.
What?
It says there's so many.
What matches was there?
It was the Undertaker. Undertaker was in it. I'm trying to remember who he wrestled.
Another good one was WrestleMania 33. I like that.
Yeah, 33. That was with the Jeff Hardy, and that was
except
the best.
Except for the main event, Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. That's rather forgettable.
Right, like I don't understand why that match happened.
Yeah.
Like I understand if that happened in the pay-per-view, but WrestleMania, like come on.
Yeah. And the main event too.
Like
it's like
right.
On.
But did you see what happened on the next episode of Monday Night Raw? Like Roman Reigns was being like booed for like 20 minutes.
That was hilarious. That was so good. I loved it when Roman got booed.
Right. It was funny because it was like a tradition. Like you had to boo for Roman Reigns. Yeah. But if you think about it, like people were hypocrites. Like they booed him, but when he got like leukemia, people were like, "Oh my god, like I love you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, truth be told, I've never been a fan of Roman Reigns. Like even when he was in the Shield, I didn't like him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I liked him in the Shield, but like it's just like when he get pushes, you know, like he gets pushed a lot.
Yeah, he main evented 4 Manias in a row, which is kind of like
right.
Yeah, nah, that shouldn't happen.
I mean, like, sure, he might have good matches. Like, the one was him versus Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank.
Or him versus AJ Styles. They were good matches.
Right. Wasn't that the return of Seth Rollins?
Yeah, Extreme Rules.
Right. That was crazy. The fans were crazy that Seth Rollins made his return.
Yeah, I went crazy. I was very happy. Yeah, that was.
But now that you think about it, I would love to see a Botchamania Backyard Wrestling.
Yeah, somebody get onto that, please. Let's make it happen.
I mean, I could work on it. Like, I could be on. It could be ACW. It could be EBW, MEBW, CMW.
Because right now, I can remember off the top of my head a few botches that I've seen. One of them was I mean, I wouldn't call it a botch, but I don't know if you've seen it, but it was the iconic Tommy Gun curb stomp at Backyard Mania 2, I think.
Okay.
When he did that curb stomp to Tyler Adams, and it was just like a tap to death.
Right.
It was pretty funny.
Or I saw one Botchamania where they did the crap. It was like the whole intro for like Drake and Josh, but it was with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, they've definitely gotten really creative with Botchamania. I love it.
Right. And like, do you follow the Botch Club on Instagram?
Yeah, of course.
You know how they do that meme where like when they botch, like he shows Vince McMahon, he goes like, "Oh, I think we need a little bit of work there."
I love that.
I love watching those, especially when they do the basketball one.
Which one was that?
Like, I don't remember which basketball player. Like, he was like dribbling. He jumps, he shoots it, but like he misses big time. Then it enters the Vince McMahon meme.
Oh, that's so good.
But you know what they should happen in Backyard Wrestling?
Yeah, what?
Somebody should make a meme page.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Backyard Wrestling meme page. Someone needs to make that happen as well. That'd be really entertaining.
Just think about the memes you could
have.
Yeah,
you could have so many memes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that.
Like, there could be one that says, like, Mom, I want the best in the yard. Then the mom goes, like, we already have the best in the yard at home. Then it shows, like, the best in the yard at home, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's endless.
Yeah, I want to see that now. I really want to see that. Somebody please make it happen.
Like one could be like the original package, what you get from Wish.
Yeah.
Oh, the memes I love the most is the Vince McMahon memes where like it shows his face reaction, then he does the flip on the chair.
Oh, that one when he falls back, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Classic.
But have you seen the original segment?
I think so. Isn't that when that girl starts like...
That chick is dancing on the table or something?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I always crack up when Vince McMahon, like, he looks surprised, then he falls back. Like, I can't just, like, you crack up every single time.
That's an iconic meme.
It is. But yeah, I just hope that could happen soon, you know, like, backyard meme.
Yeah, somebody get onto it.
Make it happen, folks. All right, are you ready for a serious question?
Yeah, sure.
Why did you become a backyard wrestler?
Well, the thing is with every wrestling fan, like, when you first watch wrestling, you always have that thought in the back of your mind, like, what if I can do that? What if I can do that move? What if I can be like that guy? And the chances are, if you've got like a sibling, or if you've got like a trampoline in the back, you've gone out there and you tried to do those moves. And that's the case with me. Like, I watched on TV and I went outside with my brother and we started doing moves and then it just took off from there. And it was...
Oh, nice.
That was like, I'd say 10 years ago we first started doing...
It was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then in 2015 we actually started, like, what if we actually start taking it seriously, start doing matches, entrances, storylines and things like that. And we started doing that in front of our family, like just doing pretend little shows. And then in 2017 or late 2016, we were like, okay, what if we film it and put it on YouTube? And then that's how the whole CW started.
Oh, nice.
I think my story is definitely similar to lots of other people. Like, they see it on TV and they go, yeah, let's try this. And then it just takes off from there.
Is it me? Or, like, had you ever, like, told, like, any of your siblings, like, hey, let me try this wrestling move on you. I'm sure it won't hurt.
Yeah, everybody does it. You go, yeah, I'm sure it doesn't hurt. And then you end up, like, putting them in hospital.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, what?
All right, I'm seeing a picture of a dude hitting someone with a chair at home, and the caption says, WWE thinks they're slick, but we've been wrestling with them crowds since they told us not to try this at home.
Yeah, that's the thing. WWE always says, do not try this at home, but there's always going to be people that do it.
Right, like, I don't think, like, that could stop us.
Yeah, of course.
Like, have you seen those dudes that wrestle at Walmart and all that?
Oh, I love those videos, yeah. They did the...
Those are freaking badass.
Did you see the one where they did the Spanish fly off the counter?
That was beautiful. Like, wow.
Yeah, they actually had some good form on that. Like, that was actually a pretty clean Spanish fly.
If I was there watching it in person, I would just, like, be giving them a huge pop.
Oh, yeah, I'd go up and I'd shake her hand and I'd be like, yo, man, that was incredible.
Right.
Like, imagine just walking down the aisle and you just look over and someone does, like, a Spanish fly off the counter. Like... That'll just be a crazy thing to see.
Oh, you know, it'd be a cool video idea concept.
Yeah, well,
if you did a wrestling match in public, like a social experiment.
There has been what are they called? They do wrestling in the subway.
Like people, like I don't remember what it's called. Like someone, like they get slammed into a table.
Yeah, in public. Yeah. There is those twins that do wrestling in public places.
The one that in the bouncy castles?
Yeah, and like water parks and things like that.
Right, that's pretty cool, especially with the audio in the background.
That'd be fun. Just wrestling at like a park. Like there's so many moves that you could do.
Right, funny story. When I went to Colorado with my family from Mexico, we went to like the trampoline castle. I mean, park. I think that's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Park?
Yeah.
Anyways, like, I told one of the managers, like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Is it fine if, like, me and my sister wrestle for a while? She's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just, like, just don't go to the hospital or anything. So, like, yeah, we were just wrestling. We were doing tricks. The cool part is I managed to do, like, a 630.
Oh, really?
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, just imagine doing, like any type of wrestling maneuver into a pit ball. I think that's what it is.
If you had the whole trampoline park to yourself, That would be
Right.
so much fun doing a wrestling match there.
Just think about the matches you could have.
Yeah, I'd like to see a like I don't know, like a 6-man, just like free for all, like brawl, going all around this place.
Right.
There's so many things that you could do.
Right on. All right. Are you ready? This is the follow-up question.
Yeah.
What if you never became a wrestler?
It's a pretty weird thing to think about because I've, like I said, been a fan of wrestling since I was 6. So, I mean, I would probably just be working on the farm, like carrying on as usual. But as future career pathways, I mean, I did a lot of photography and graphic design at school, like woodwork, engineering. Maybe I'll be doing something like that. But I mean, I probably wouldn't be doing sports or anything. Maybe I'd be doing my flips and things like that. But if it wasn't wrestling, I wouldn't have done flips. So it's definitely a really weird thing to think about. Like considering my whole life has been revolved around wrestling.
Exactly. But do you think the world would be like, I want to say sad, but a bit depressed if wrestling never existed?
It would definitely be strange. That's for sure. Like,
right? Because like if you think about it, like wrestling has like made an impact. Like,
yeah.
Like especially in the Attitude Era, like,
yeah.
Like if you live during the Attitude Era, like you can't like go around places without seeing someone like putting the middle finger, or someone doing the DX or like suck it,
Yeah.
Just imagine going to school at that time, like watching Monday Night Raw, like sub teacher, like suck it, you know.
Oh,
I remember one time I did the DX chomp where I told the teacher to suck it. It was pretty funny.
Out of class.
Yeah, I got a red card. That's
no.
what it was. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that would have been pretty funny to see.
And the next class was in second grade. No, yeah, the next year was in second grade.
So
like my teacher, yeah. Like I told the teacher, like I got 2 words for you, and like she kind of got mad, and like she said, "Get out." And then like after that, like before I walked out, I said, "Suck it," and shut the door. And so I was a bit crazy back then, but like, yeah.
You love to see it. You love to see stuff like that.
Right. I mean, like, you can't go around without, like, I feel like every wrestling fan has either did the woo, tried to raise their eyebrow, or, like, say what, like.
Yeah, and another thing is, I, like, basically every day of my life, I wear a wrestling t-shirt. Like, so without wrestling, my clothing would be a lot different. Like, my wardrobe is just filled with wrestling t-shirts.
Now that you mentioned that, one time, you know who's Marty Scurll, right? All right, one time I was in Oklahoma, and I was like going to like a carnival park, and I was wearing the Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
He was working there. He was like the billing club. Then like we were just talking. Then I told him about ACW, and now like everybody knows about ACW from that location because it all started with the T-shirt.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy how wrestling works. Like it brings us together.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you see like crossover events, like for example, EBW versus MBW. Like, just the fact that wrestling has made them meet new people and make new friends. Like, it's a pretty cool platform to share things with people.
Right. Because I feel like with other sports, like in football, like people like hate each other. They're like, "Oh, you suck because you like this team." But in wrestling, like we might like hate different wrestlers, but like we sure like the experience.
Yeah, I mean, there is fans that argue like, "Oh, AEW sucks, WWE's better," or like vice versa.
Right.
Especially
like for little kids.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're all wrestling fans.
Like there was one that says like, kids watch AEW.
Yeah.
Men watch WWE.
Yeah.
Legends watch NWA.
New Japan.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because like NWA was like really old, and it's still old, which makes it classic and good.
NWA's got that history behind it. They've got the 10 pounds of gold.
They still have the same title.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, maybe
if you ever went pro, what company would you go to? of any company?
Probably not WWE. I mean, if I wanted to make money, I would go to WWE, but I would like to have like creative freedom and freedom of who I want to be and like what I want to do. So I think,
And what matches you want? Okay.
yeah, like I think the most ideal company for me is either New Japan or AEW. Like
Okay.
with New Japan. Oh wait, are you talking about backend wrestling promotions or pro wrestling?
No. I meant like pro wrestling.
Yeah, pro. Yeah, because in New Japan pro wrestling, like best of Super Juniors tournament, that'll be really cool. Or like the G1.
I love the G1
That's
tournaments.
amazing. It's such a shame they got postponed. I mean, it was
Right.
going to be postponed anyway because of the Olympics, but man, it's hard.
Oh yeah. But you know what would be actually pretty cool?
Yeah.
I know professional wrestling is scripted and all that, but like imagine having a pro wrestling match in the Olympics with all those fans.
That'd be nice. That'd be cool. They need to do
Right.
that.
Like, or even better, imagine having. Oh well, I don't think because WWE already did it. Like, imagine, well, having a wrestling show during halftime, like actually, like in front of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just somehow include wrestling in like big events like that. Like, it'll get
like
get more eyes on the product.
Uh-huh.
Maybe make new fans.
Because like I'm sure like not a lot of people like singers, you know. Like sure it might be good, but like they just don't want to be seen. They want to be entertained. They want to see like holy shit, you know.
Yeah, they want to see someone jumping off a cage like Mick Foley.
Right.
Like that's entertainment. I don't know about you, but wrestling is entertainment.
Like I remember one time I got bullied for being a wrestling fan. Like
yeah,
I told someone like, how could you even like baseball? It's just the person getting with a stick hitting a ball and running and catching it and throwing it and sliding.
Yeah.
But wrestling, on the other hand, like, sure, you could say it's fictional, but like, at least that's my type of action.
Yeah.
It's like, if you think about it, it's like a superhero movie, but in real life with every week.
Like, especially some of the storylines in it, like, you know, like a big betrayal or something. That's like that's like some movie type plot. Like that's amazing.
If you think about it, especially Monday Night Raw has been like the longest running TV show ever.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. Because it started in 1993, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and they haven't missed an episode. Except, I think, they did Christmas episodes, didn't they?
No, they did one. I think it was after the Royal Rumble 2015. And they couldn't do it because of the weather. So they just showed
a big snowstorm or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like they even did it in Raw and SmackDown. Like, since they didn't have a lot of wrestlers, they just showed like old clips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, like it's a good idea, but like I mean, like nobody wants to watch old clips.
Yeah.
Unless if it's like Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, they had that on the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it on SmackDown.
On SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah. What is the best wrestling game you ever played?
It's definitely SmackDown versus Raw 2010. Mainly because I have such a big history on it. Like I've had so many fun times on that game. And
oh, nice.
Honestly, like I'm not the biggest gamer. Like I've never like I don't have a PlayStation or Xbox. It's not because like we can't afford it or anything. It's just I never really got into that type of stuff. But we had it on the Wii. We had SmackDown vs Raw 2010, 2011, and 12 and 13 on the Wii. And yeah, they were just, like, really fun games.
I think. Oh, what was I gonna say? I think I FaceTime you the other day. Like, you could tell I'm a big, huge wrestling fan, and I'm a gamer. Yeah, I have like a lot of wrestling games.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of stuff there.
Like from the NES wrestling games to like the PS1, PS2, like PS3. You know,
you should do like a behind the scenes thing and just show everyone your big collection.
Right. Because like I know I might not be Grim. On the other hand, like Grim, like he's a collector.
Yeah, you probably got a lot of money in there. Like that stuff's probably worth quite a lot of money.
Right. Because I have some action figures that like WWE doesn't want to talk about. I think you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I had that action figure.
Yeah. That's definitely a collector's item.
Right. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but in the other hand, personal,
Yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your dream match opponent in backyard wrestling?
I've actually got quite a big list, but normally when you ask a backyard wrestler who their dream opponent is, like
Well, you could list them all.
yeah,
You
I
know,
will.
you could list them
The
all.
chances are, like most people are going to say Matt Thunder, Maximus Roman, which is fair enough. And I mean, they're
Okay,
definitely one of my dream opponents too. But I have a list of
right.
people that don't really get chosen often, and I'm not picking them out of sympathy. I'm picking them because I genuinely think we could put on a good match and tell a great story. And
Right.
that list starts off with Jay Creed from EBW. I love that guy.
Oh, Jay Creed.
Yeah, he's a great talent. I love, especially since he joined the Silenced era. I'm loving his stuff there. I think we could tell a really good story, put on a really good match.
Okay.
James Fury, he's another one. I mean, he's also a pretty common opponent for a lot of people.
He's a pretty good wrestler. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude too. But like, just having a match with him would be pretty cool. I think we could put on a great match. Another one is Tommy Gunn. Actually, I mean,
Tommy Gunn.
I
Yeah.
think we could tell a really good like David and Goliath story. I know that's kind of overused in wrestling, like the little guy versus big guy. But I think I could do it like
You guys could like make it work.
yeah, I think I can make it work like in a different way that we haven't seen before.
Like the strength versus speed.
Yeah. But there is two opponents that are like my ultimate dream opponents. One of them is Executioner from EBW. I mean, like
Oh,
that
nice.
kid, he can take a bump. He can endure a lot of things. Like if you've seen his match at both Bloodthirsty events, like
Yeah,
the kid
I
can
seen
take
it.
a beating. And another
Right.
thing is like in CMW, all of my opponents are like a lot bigger than me, like heavier, taller, stronger than me. So I
Okay.
haven't really had the chance to wrestle anyone smaller or like my size. And I think Executioner is like a perfect match.
That would be a pretty good
Yeah.
match to see. Not
And
gonna
then
lie.
my ultimate dream opponent, I don't know if you have heard of him. He's from a company that has actually, I think, disbanded, but it's TJ Carter from PTWF. Does that sound familiar to you?
I
Yeah.
don't think
Well,
so, but go ahead. Like,
he's
tell
like,
us.
he's my ultimate dream opponent, and I think I am also one of his dream opponents too. Just because we have
Oh,
such a
nice.
similar style, and I think we take inspiration from the same wrestlers. Like he and I are both like in our movesets. You can see parts of like Will Ospreay, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega. I think because all of their
Okay.
movesets like brush up on both mine and his, and I think we're just like a perfect match for each other.
Right.
Definitely one of my dream opponents for sure. If you haven't heard of him, you gotta go
Well,
check him out. He's a pretty
okay.
very talented. He is TJ Carter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll go check him out after this
Yeah, sure.
podcast. But then again, you can't forget about Derek Destroyer.
Of course,
You
yeah,
know.
of course.
I mean, like, I want to say that's a dream match because like it's gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah,
Mark my words.
of course. I think we could tell a pretty interesting story, especially considering it. I believe it's the first ever international match. Might be. I don't know.
Like that would be a good
that'd be
record. I mean, a good thing to have. You
Yeah.
know. I just hope Matt Thunder doesn't beat me.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, like like I'll give it to him. Like, yeah, he is the best in the yard, but like for me, like I'll be like the best ever. Like, sure, like I might be cocky and all that, but like confidence has nothing to do with it. You know,
Exactly.
like that's what motivates me. Like, because when I call myself the best ever, like that helps me like concentrate, improve. You know.
Yeah, you guys could do like an underdog type story, like you are the underdog, and you could do like a really big upset on Matt Thunder or something.
Right.
That'd be interesting.
Who would you say would win in a match, Matt Thunder or Christian Archer?
That's an interesting match. Oh, I don't know. I think with the height advantage, obviously Christian Archer, I believe he's a lot bigger.
Mhm.
I think personally, Matt Thunder would probably go over here. I think because
It's super kick. It's super kick
Claymore.
versus
Yeah.
the Claymore kick.
I
Yeah.
think Matt Thunder's more experienced. I think in backyard wrestling, he's been doing it longer than Christian Archer. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know that for sure, but based on
Okay.
like observation, I think Matt Thunder can definitely outpace Christian Archer, and I think he'll definitely pick up the win. It'll be a great match, though. That's for sure. I definitely would.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That will be a good match
But, I mean, it
indeed.
could go either way. Christian Archer could also beat him. It's a coin
Okay.
toss at the end of the day. It's 50-50.
50-50, right. What's your thoughts on ACW?
Yeah, I love. Like I said before, I love the editing you guys do, like, especially the intro. I love that. Um,
Right. I think I told you this before. Maybe I didn't, or probably I told someone else. But one of our fans actually
yeah,
made it.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Um,
It is
but
cool.
you've also got some pretty interesting characters on your roster, like Mason. I like him. He's cool.
Right. I love his
Yeah, the whole
entrance.
Terminator thing. That's pretty cool. I dig it.
Right.
But yeah, no, you seem like a pretty talented bunch of wrestlers. I'd definitely love to come over there and spend some time there, have a match with a lot of people there.
Right. Like first Australian wrestler to be in ACW
Yeah,
or
or
something
you
like
guys
that.
could come to me. Either way.
Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be
Yeah.
good. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, again, that could go either way because right now I honestly don't know what career I'm gonna do. Like, I could do wrestling. I could just continue on working on the farm. I could do something else. But if I did carry on with wrestling, I'd probably see myself still kind of developing in the indies, like within the next 10 years. Because if I was to start wrestling, I wouldn't start until like 3 or 4 years because I'd like to bulk up first, establish
Right.
myself first. And by the time you get on the indies and get established and then, get like a bigger appearance on your name, like more people know about you, it's going to take some time. Like, it doesn't happen instantly. You got to build yourself up. So in 10 years, I mean, I'd still be probably on the indies. It's kind of hard to predict though.
Right. Because like Rey Mysterio, he started professional wrestling at the age of 12, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
incredible.
And then you got some people, you can see their
I'm
careers. It
right.
takes a long time to build them up to the star. Like Kenny Omega, he started off like pretty slow and he started gaining momentum. And then he got really popular and he's like 36 now. So it took him all that time to get where he
Right.
is. So it's a slow process, but you've got to stay consistent. That's
I think there's been few wrestlers where like they're really old, but like they started like being really big once they got
yeah,
old.
yeah. Like some of the wrestlers now who are like older, like I'm talking like
Like
mid
Dustin
30s by
Rhodes.
they came to the WWE. Yeah, Dustin
Right.
Rhodes is a good example.
I love Dustin. I'm sure I'm gonna miss his Goldust
Yeah,
character, but Dustin Rhodes is a good
yeah,
wrestler.
like now he can show like what he's truly made of.
Right, he could carry on his father's legacy like Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes.
I mean, I don't see him as like a top guy there, but he can have some.
He is sure. He's a hell
Yeah, he
of a
can have some pretty
wrestler.
interesting matches there for sure.
Mm. Like back then, especially in the Attitude Era, like there were like some mid card wrestlers that were more entertaining than the actual main event
Yeah,
carders.
yeah, and that's the thing with wrestling nowadays. Like, there's a lot of people who are more talented but don't get the spotlight.
Right. Like to be fair, like I feel like everyone deserves to have a spotlight at least
definitely.
once.
And it's unfortunate to see people that have so much talent just go down and be like buried.
Right. Because like there was a
All
wrestler
the NXT
that
guys.
like it really, yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, which one are you talking about?
Like I think he quit because of WWE. Like they were being racist or something.
That's happened to a few people.
Right. But like that's what I kind of hate about WWE. Like they're a bit
Yeah.
racist if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of controversy
Like they,
about that.
Like they should treat everyone fairly. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But anyways, all right. I know this question might be a bit odd because like it's gonna be uploaded on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm correct, and we're recording it on Saturday, which for me is
And for me,
Saturday,
it's
but
Sunday.
for him, BXB, it's Sunday. It's crazy how the days work. But what's your thoughts on AJ Styles versus The Undertaker? Any boneyard match?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the highlights of it. It's
okay.
definitely a very interesting way of going about the match. I mean, for me, I would have preferred them to have like just a regular singles match because I think AJ Styles versus Undertaker, like AJ could have carried Undertaker to like a really good match, but I think this Boneyard match, it's a cool concept. I like it.
It felt like the Attitude Era and Hardy Boys compound.
Like I said, I haven't seen the whole thing, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty interesting.
I'm not gonna spoil it to you or anything, but like the only spoiler I'm gonna give you is like so badass.
I know who wins, but like it, yeah.
Oh, okay, but like you gotta watch the whole thing. You'll be so satisfied.
That was the main event, wasn't it? Yeah, that's good. AJ Styles in the main event of WrestleMania. I'll take that. That's cool.
Right. It's crazy that AJ Styles took like years to get to WWE. Another example.
Like he took all that time to build up his career. I mean, he was a star in TNA, and then he went to New Japan. But like to actually get established, it took him all that time to get to the WWE. He was what 38 when he came to WWE.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And Drew McIntyre as well, like especially for him to get a big push.
How old is he? He'd be mid-30s probably.
Yeah, give me a sec. Okay, Google. How old is Drew McIntyre?
Drew Galloway is 34 years old.
34?
Right.
Because he's been in it for 10 years. I remember that. What would you say was the best moment you ever had in CMW?
Best moment? Probably... I think just putting on great matches. Like, I think my best match in my career, Crash Carnival 4, that was probably one of my best moments. I mean, obviously, it hasn't been released yet. Actually, no, it will be released by the time this video comes out, but I think...
Yeah, no worries, but
that match in general was probably the biggest moment in my career because it was, it's like my best match in my career.
Oh, nice. Had you ever like recorded a match, but like it got deleted somehow?
No, I don't think
Has that ever happened?
We have had a few like promos that we had to scrap because we just didn't have time to upload them or we just never got to it. But no, that hasn't happened for a match. No.
Dang. If you could change one thing about backyard wrestling, what would it be?
Probably. I mean, there's a lot of cliches in backyard wrestling. Like a lot of people just copy WWE and copy like things they see on pro wrestling. I think people should be more original when it comes to backyard wrestling. Create your own stuff. Whether that means getting your own theme song. Like, don't use a theme song that already is from like a wrestler. Get something that suits you. Don't copy spots from wrestling. Just make your own stuff up because you have a lot of freedom in backyard wrestling. You can do whatever you want. There's no need to be copying all these people. I mean, sometimes it works. Like you look at Matt Thunder, the Claymore. Like he's made that work, even though Claymore is Drew McIntyre's move. Like he makes it work.
Right. What was I gonna say? Like the theme song has to make sense to the character.
Definitely.
Like for me, like. My song is Heartless by Kanye West, but it's a covered version and it's a rock metal.
Britt Baker's theme, didn't you? From AEW?
That's what you said again? Oh, yeah, Britt Baker. Yeah, the doctor.
Was That's cool. That's interesting.
I mean, like, I love the song, but, like, I have to stop using it because, like, there's a wrestler that's using it. Like, it wouldn't make sense. As long
as it suits the character, as long as it fits in, then it's all fine. It can work.
Right. Who would you say was the best wrestler you ever wrestled with?
For sure. That's definitely the easiest.
You guys share great
chemistry? Definitely. Like I said, Tom and I have been doing it for 10 years. So we've obviously got that chemistry, we've got that experience. And every time we have a match, it's obviously going to be something special. Another one is Callum Dark, too. I love wrestling Callum. He's no longer a wrestler in CW, but when he was there, we had some pretty cool matches. Definitely.
He retired?
Yeah, he kind of just lost interest in wrestling. He still does commentary for us and that, but...
Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
I mean, he might return in the future. He might not. I'm not exactly sure on his status, but... Yeah, when he was there, we had some pretty good matches, I think. Probably some of the best matches in my career, for sure.
I always wanted to wrestle him because like he even had a cool shirt that says like
Yeah.
Destroyer
You guys
Club.
could have formed like a cool faction.
Yeah,
That would have been cool.
right. The Broken Colts or something.
Or just
Trademark.
straight up Destroyer Club.
Right. The Destruction
Yeah.
or something. That would be pretty cool, you know? I just hope if it's possible, if I do travel to CMW, if I could probably get like a copy of that shirt or something.
Make one for you.
Right. I'm a medium, just to let you know.
We'll get onto that.
All right.
Yeah,
just let me know.
Just book the flights and we'll be there.
All right, sounds good. What was I gonna say? Like, cause you know how you said like you would love to have him back again.
Of course.
Like for special occasions, like for example, like hypothetical. Let's say like the 5-year anniversary of CMW. Would you like have him like make up
if
an
he's
appearance?
Down to it, then sure. I mean, originally he was meant to be like the main event of Crash Carnival 4 was supposed to be BXB versus Tom Nichols versus Callum Dark. It was going to be like the biggest match we've ever done because that's like a huge story. Because last year's main event, it was me versus Callum Dark, and Tom interfered in that match, and he cost Callum. And that was supposed to open a story where we would lead on to this triple threat match, but unfortunately that never actually happened. But yeah, it was supposed to be one of the biggest matches. We were going to advertise it as like the biggest match in backyard wrestling, which that.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
But unfortunately, we never got. That actually never went down. But it would have been really good. Yeah.
When you guys say like you guys won't be able to record, like is it because of like the school? Is it the weather or like what is it?
At school, but it's mainly because either we got work, we got weather, or we got like family coming down, things like that. Because we're always busy here. Like farming also doesn't have an off season. If you want to talk about that. Yeah.
Oh, of
so
course,
we're always busy down here, and
family is 24/7.
Like if we do get free time, let's say on the weekend, like sure we got a day off, but then it's raining. We can't film, so that's what's holding us back a lot. We've just gotten really unlucky.
Yeah, I could relate because like there's gonna be times where like people can't be able to record for a while.
It's probably a good thing because we have such a small roster, and if we were uploading like weekly videos, our content. Yeah, it's going to see the same stuff. It's going to get repetitive, and it's going to be hard for us to come up with new content. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I mean, if we did upload more consistent, yes, we'll get more subscribers, more views, but I think at the end of the day, the way that we're uploading now is probably the best option.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, like that's what I kind of fear in ACW, like because I don't want the fans to see like the same match. Because like they're gonna end up losing interest.
Even if that means waiting like 2 months for a match, like we do. I mean, it's gonna hurt the channel, but in the long term, it probably would pay off.
Like for me, like I feel like this is like a really bad idea, but like we kind of try to like have like we try to invite people to be in ACW. Like for example, like have you ever seen my match against me versus the Atomic Atom? I think we had a highlight match.
Yeah, I've seen the highlight video, yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of a different match, or is that the one where he like dropped you on your head like twice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
was that match. Ever since that, I keep having neck problems. Like right now, I have to like try to pop my neck.
You took it twice too.
Right, like he was like the worst wrestler that I ever wrestled with. And like just right now, this is gonna be like probably the first time I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah.
You know what shoot is, right? In wrestling. All right. I'm gonna shoot on the Atomic Atom, so get ready, folks. The Atomic Atom doesn't train. When we train, he doesn't listen. When you try to communicate, he doesn't listen. So we're having a match, right? And he's shining me up. He's kicking my ass. I'm making him look good. I'm selling all his good moves. But when I'm kicking his ass, he doesn't sell it, which is pissing me off. So, we go into a fight. Then there's one part where he pisses me off. Not in the match, but it was in a brawl. And I ripped his underwear, which was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I told Adam, because like we were having a brawl, and I told him to like get out because I'm gonna throw your ass out. I throw his ass out. I'm cutting a promo, and he gets back in. And I'm telling him, "Oh my god, you're supposed to stay out." And like I just went Brock Lesnar on his mode, like took the gloves off and boom, boom. Like that's what I kind of hate because like you have to like because in wrestling you have to work together,
Yeah, definitely.
But the Atomic Atom, like when he first dropped me on my neck, like I was a bit scared because I don't know what happened. And later on the match, he tried to do it again, but I reversed it. Oh, for the second time he did it, like keep in mind it's a championship match. Like when he did it for the second time, I was actually gonna like that like I want to say that was gonna be the finish, but like that would have been like actually a pretty good finish, like a believable.
And you guys could have made a storyline out of that, like just
but,
say he broke your neck and it takes you out.
Right. I mean, we were supposed to work our storyline, but one, he barely shows up. He's hard to, And the second part is like, if I'm getting hurt while wrestling this dude, like I don't want him hurting my other wrestler, Like I don't want my wrestlers to be scared of him.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yo, because like for me, like I care about my wrestlers. That's why most of the time I take most of bad bumps.
Yeah, same.
Like I even took a thumbtack spot because they wouldn't do it, but I will because that's the sacrifice I would make for my channel.
In a Crush Carnival match, like a lot of neck bumps I took.
Right. But like the thing is, like, there's a oh crap, how do you say it? I don't know. It's just it's a late. It's really late. It's like 1:52 right now. But what was I trying to say? Like, there's a difference between you having a wrestling match and you trying to survive.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like there was a match. I think I was watching it. It was like probably in Japan or something. There was a wrestler that was like a big dude, and the other one he was like buff. By big dude, like he was fat, and the buff dude he was like punching him, and the fat dude was insulting. So like the the buff dude got pissed, so he just would like kicked his ass hard, and he was bleeding and shit like that. Cause like you don't want to look bad in front of the camera. Like if you could put hard work into it, and they don't put hard work to it back, like it kind of ruins the whole thing. Like you can't let him be the good guy. Like you can't let him be good if he's not making you look good.
Like so no one carries the match or anything.
Right. Like don't get me wrong. Like there's sometimes where like people have carried to because like they need help and all that. Like I thought like don't get me wrong. The Atomic Atom he has some potential, but only if you actually like focus and pay attention.
Yeah, that's the case with some wrestlers sometimes.
Right. Like in personal, like personally, he joined the bowling team. Bowling, like the bowling where you got the ball and you throw it into the pins. Well, he did that for the high school team, and I got pissed. But I'm not gonna let his real life stuff affect him in his wrestling because, like, I feel like that would be bad. Like you can't torture someone for like what they did in real life.
Yeah, no.
That's why you gotta be even, fair. But that's my thoughts on the Atomic Atom. I would work with him if he gets his shit together. Let's say that.
Podcast just turned into a shoot for the past like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right. Don't get me wrong. Like Beyond the Yard, we'll have shoot moments. Like I'm sure probably in the future, like you will have a shoot on. I don't know. Let's say Tom Nicholas, for example. Maybe like you could say that on Crash Carnival, like or something, Because with the shoot interview, like you get to be creative, like you could actually like tell your point of the story.
Yeah, it creates a big opportunity for you to like share your thoughts and stuff.
Right, like the Montreal Screwjob, for example. Imagine if that happened in backyard
Like a
wrestling, like a
really
screw job,
controversial
for an
moment.
example,
That would be cool. Yeah.
especially
Oh
with the
yeah, that'll be like
crossover.
in the main event, like someone gets cost a match. That'll be an interesting storyline.
Like, I know I'm just gonna make this up. This is just like hypothetical. Imagine if I was having a match with
Yeah.
MEBW, right? And I was having a match with,
Yeah.
let's say, Matt Thunder, right? I'm having a match with him, and like I was supposed to win a title or something, and Tommy Gunn comes out of nowhere, and he just rings the bell and says that Matt Thunder is the new champion. You know, like just
Yeah.
imagine the heat
The
people
fans
would
too, they wouldn't
get
be
during
happy.
that match, right? Then like the feud, just imagine the feud
Yeah.
on social
That'll
media
be
and
really
all
interesting.
that. hmm I feel like that would bring like the wrestling community like bigger to see like what
Yeah.
happens, like
It's definitely something that hasn't happened before, and it'll definitely be a really cool thing to see.
right? Because like that's a like
Yeah,
never
kind of like an
before,
Australian crossover. Like it's never been done before.
right? Because like if it goes well, we could be the
Yeah, I mean, I'm
first
gonna have
ones
to
to
check
do
up
it.
on that. I don't know if it's happened before, but yeah,
Or
if
like
anyone
we
knows
could
in the
say
comments, leave a comment
recently,
below. Has there been an Australian crossover before? Because I don't think there has.
right? But yeah, that's
Yep,
my thoughts on the atomic
there
atom.
you go.
If if you could join any other federation in backyard wrestling, who would it
I
be
know
and why?
it gets chosen a lot, but it's MLW because they have such a big and diverse roster. Like, there's lots of matches that I could have there with people of all shapes and sizes. Like, I could have matches with someone smaller than me, someone bigger than me, and yeah, just a big roster like that is something that I've never really had an opportunity to work with, and I think it'll be really cool if I could go over there and spend some time there. Yeah, have like some pretty cool
Uh huh.
feuds and rivalries.
Like that's what some channels fear, like because the roster, like they
Like
might not
us, yeah,
have
we
like a
don't
lot
have
of
many.
wrestlers, you
That's
know.
why we can't create that much content. And even now, like the matches that we're doing now, they're
Like
just
but
repeats.
uh,
But we're trying to make them.
right, but like if you think about it, I prefer
Yeah, yeah, that's the
quality over
case with us
quantity,
too.
you know.
Like all these promo videos that you've been seeing, like we try to focus on the quality of that more than uploading more often.
Right. Like for example, like I'd rather have like the same two wrestlers, well not the same two wrestlers, but like let's say there's 5 wrestlers current active
Yeah,
in the federation, right? I'd rather have those 5 wrestlers put on amazing matches than have like 20
yeah,
wrestlers and they don't put on a good show.
yeah, definitely, of course.
How would you say the early days of
Like, how did it
CMW?
start?
Yeah, like how
Very
was it?
different to how it is now. Like, obviously, we've evolved. We've become a lot more professional, a lot more better at wrestling. And looking back at some
hmm
older footage, you can really tell like just how inexperienced we were back then. I mean, back then we were doing it more for like just for fun, something that we could do like in our spare time. Now I'm kind of taking it a little more seriously,
Right.
taking the storylines a little more seriously. It's not so much. I mean, it's still fun, but like, yeah, we're just back then. It was just
You
yeah,
just made it
yeah,
more
definitely.
professional in sports and all that. Like, don't get me wrong, that like you
Yeah,
can still have fun while doing it,
yeah. Like
like especially in botches.
if it wasn't fun,
Like
I
that's
wouldn't be
what makes
doing
it
it.
fun.
It would just become like a chore.
Right.
All right, like because it is
Yeah.
fun back at wrestling, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, unless if it gets repetitive and boring.
Like you okay. Like you could be unique. Like you
Yeah,
could be you. Like you could tell your story.
of course.
So would you say Crash Carnival the fourth, the one that you're gonna main event? Would you say that's the
Yeah,
your favorite match
definitely.
you ever
By
had?
far. I mean, if you thought our match at Final Chapter was good, then this Crash Carnival match, it's 10 times better. It's more sequences, faster pace, more moves. Yeah, definitely. I pulled out everything in that match, and I just hope all the fans enjoy it.
Oh, nice.
Definitely my best.
You seen the episode with
I've only
me and
watched about
Maximus
half an
Rowan,
hour
right?
of it, but yeah.
Oh, what's your thoughts
Yeah, I
on
mean,
it?
it's
Since you only
great that
seen
you got
like
him
some of it.
on the show. I mean, I know you've been wanting to do it for a long time, so congratulations on finally having him on the show.
Right. Yeah, thanks. Like, I just can't stop thinking that
Yeah.
I had Maximus Roman on my show. He's a pretty cool guy, even though I never met him personally or had a match with. I
That
could
was a long
tell
episode too.
he's a
Actually, have
pretty
we
cool guy.
surpassed the time in the episode? How long have we been going for? Hour and a half. So this is yeah, it's like an hour and a half.
I lost
plus
count.
the bits that we did that before. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
no, I'll go back and watch that full episode because I'd definitely love to hear what he has to say.
Now we can finally say
Yep, there we go.
this episode
Yeah,
is the
beat
longest
that. Everyone else that's going to be
episode
on the
ever.
show, come at me.
Watch out.
Yeah, come at
BXB
me.
set a high record in Beyond the Yard. Let's see who could top that. It's crazy that like we're talking about like you and I gonna set records, and look at that.
There's our
We already
first
set record in Beyond the Yard. Right now
Yeah,
it's
you
2
probably,
a.m. in the morning.
Geez, that's 2 a.m. to be recording a podcast. That's pretty cool. 3 a.m. 3 p.m. for me. I'm getting ready to get back to work.
Oh,
nah.
for real? Are you
maybe
about
there's
to?
something. We're gonna mow the lawn, but you know that can wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's 3
Yeah,
3
it's
p.m. over there. That's
I
crazy
know.
how
It's-
like the time
and
zone
yeah, like
works.
setting up this podcast, working out all the times, it was definitely not easy, was it?
Right, like I'm spending my
Yeah,
beauty sleep to talking to
it'll
you.
be worth it.
Just imagine the dreams I could have. The dreams
Yeah,
of
no,
me
you're
flirting
talking-
with
yeah, you're-
girls. But no, I'm talking to BXB from
That's
Australia.
a much better thing to do for sure.
Right. Because, like, in the dream, I could probably be talking to
Of
another
course,
dude,
yeah.
and that could be a nightmare. So probably
yeah.
you could say, you saved me.
Yeah,
You're my,
That's
dream catcher,
definitely the
whatever.
case.
Right. But I remember the first time we talked.
Yeah, that was
that was crazy.
like last week, something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Didn't you say, like, I was the first American person you actually had a full conversation
I've never
with?
really like spoken one-on-one to an American. So, and what about you? You haven't spoken to an Australian, have you?
That's cool. Right. I mean, sure, people might make accents like,
Yeah.
hello there, mate, and all that, but, like, it actually in
But like
person,
my accent,
wow, it
isn't,
feels
like,
different.
really, really hard Australian. Like, you can get like a real bogany type accent. That's what we call like die-hard Australians. We call them bogans down here. But yeah, you know, I'm not really like a hardcore Australian. I'm not your typical.
Like, you guys don't say, like, hello, mate, let's put another shrimp on the barbie. Like, you know.
Mate is just like an everyday word that we use in Australia. Like, we don't even notice it. It's just like, oh yeah, what's up?
It's like a bro, but like for like the people. Because like mate in the dictionary, it's when two animals make love or something. Yeah, but it's cool though. Like how everybody says mate. Like that's pretty cool. Like it's like the polite version of saying bro.
That's just like that's just how it is. It's just what's up, mate? How you going, mate?
I wonder how it all started with mate. Probably somebody said like "What's up, man?" but they said it wrong. Like they had the hiccup. Like they were like "What's up, mate?" Right. That's like a Vince McMahon idea. Like if someone messes up, you know what? I'm gonna take that idea. But that's crazy. This is like
So like I said, anyone that wants to come in the show, try and beat this. Good luck.
Let's see what type of topics you could come up with, because me and BXB are nailing it.
And maybe if I come on for part 2, it can be even longer.
What would you? Right, like because we could talk about like the current events, or like we could talk about WrestleMania if we wanted to, or we could even talk about childhood if we wanted to. Oh yeah. Anyways, that I mentioned about Maximus Roman, we talked because later on the episode, I think it was close to the end. I told Maximus Roman about my movie idea, and he really liked it. And he told me it would be pretty cool if we got to see the YouTube wrestling documentary of backyard
it'll be
wrestlers.
Definitely an interesting thing. I think the fans would love it too.
Like it could show like some people's personal life, like how difficult it is, the rise, the fall.
You compared it to Rocky too when you were describing it. That's definitely a good comparison.
Right. Because like I know not a lot of people could understand it, like understand what we do. But, like when they watch the documentary, like it's more than just wrestling in the yards. Like we share a moment. And I know we might not get their attention.
Yeah, like I said,
like,
in our
we
community,
sure make an impact.
A small community, but it's big enough for us to communicate with the fans and, like you said, share impact.
Right. Like some people, like we might not get a lot of views. Like they might make fun of us, like, oh, look at that, you get 50 views. But like to them, it might be a little, but to us, like it means a lot because people actually care about what we do and all that.
Hang on, wait, just a sec. Cut this bit
out.
You know what? Go to the toilet. I'll be back. 26.
I love Paul Heyman. He's an important role in wrestling.
Yeah, he's definitely an iconic name.
Right, like he was the creator of ECW. I think so.
I think he was. Yeah. I mean, I never watched wrestling that far back, but I think he was something like that.
You know what's one quote that I love about him?
What?
He says that wrestling is an art form. I don't worry about people that don't get it. I'm worried about satisfying the people that do.
That's definitely backyard wrestling comes into that category too.
Right.
You got to understand it to actually like mix with it. You know?
Because like we don't care about people that don't care about us. Like screw them. But we care about people that cared about us. Like all the fans out there, also the wrestlers. You know.
Yeah.
Because we want to show them that we are these athletes.
Yeah.
Sure, you might not take us seriously, but we go out there and put our hard work to it.
Yeah, and people can think what they want, but at the end of the day, this is like important to a lot of us.
Right. Like to me personally, like wrestling in general, like it saved my life because I used to have a sad life, but like now, look at me, like I'm an important wrestler in the backyard wrestling community. Heck, I even made this podcast. I'm sure this podcast Beyond the Yard is like important to the wrestling community.
Yeah. Yeah, that just shows the impact that wrestling can have. And like you said before, where would you be without wrestling? You know,
Right. I wouldn't be nowhere. Wrestling saved me. Ever since it saved me, I'm giving back to these fans by 1, wrestling, 2, telling the stories, 3, talking to like other wrestlers, including you, through the podcast. And hopefully someday I can make an interview or an episode about me, like the story of Derek Destroyer.
That movie.
Mm-hmm. But I also want to make a documentary of me because
even
because you seen the documentary that I kind of made on my Instagram.
That was good. That was really well produced too.
Right, because I made it in school because it was for a project. Like the teacher, like she says, all right, you have to interview someone that is important. And when she said it, I just chuckled and laughed. I was like, oh, I'm gonna nail this so bad.
Even like a behind the scenes type film would be cool. Right.
Like I told the teachers, they were kind of laughing at first, but when they watched it, like I got like A+ or something like that. Like everybody loved it. I was rated as the best interview
Yeah, 5
during the
stars.
class. Right. Because like one, like I told them like that I wanted to be a wrestler since I was young, and like I showed a footage of me when I was like I don't know like
Yeah,
10 or
those old
11.
pictures.
Yeah, and I even like had old clips between me and the
Yeah.
Phoenix. And believe it or not, it was the same time zone. I mean, the same time when ABW started. So I don't know what to tell you there, Max. But we also started in a really
Yeah.
young age.
Yeah.
We probably didn't record, but yeah.
Yeah. Like me, I started watching wrestling when I was 6 years old.
Oh, nice. Like, there's been people that, how do you say, they've been watching it since they were young. Then there's people that been watching it like years
Yeah.
ago, like
Matt Thunder,
5 years ago or
Matt
3
Thunder
years
said he's
ago.
watching when he was,
Right.
14? And look at him.
Yeah, he said
Look at him.
so.
He's one of the best.
Right. You know, it'd be crazy if this actually happened.
Yeah. What?
I think this actually happened like in my podcast. I was talking to Eddie Bennett.
Yeah,
Remember
I
him?
watched that.
Like he said he didn't like wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now look at him. He's one of a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, and it just shows once again the impact that wrestling can have.
Right. Now if you think about it, be a pretty cool idea to happen
Yeah, go on.
if we did like something similar to New Japan Pro Wrestling, like the G1
Yeah, with all the
tournament.
best wrestlers, that'd be cool.
Right, like every wrestler from every
Yeah, like
single federation
instead
do
of
a
a
tournament.
elimination tournament, you could do like a round robin tournament with 2 brackets, and like everyone faces each other in their bracket, and then you get the final. Because with an elimination tournament, once someone gets eliminated, like they're done. That's it. Like let's say Matt Thunder gets eliminated early, then he's done. You won't get any more.
Right, like it kind of sad. Like you want to see
Yeah.
him more, but with the GM1 tournament, like you said, like you can still
Yeah,
see
you
them
wanna,
wrestle. Like sure, they might not win the World Cup or something,
yeah,
but
you want to
they
milk
still
it. Like you
wrestle.
want to put on as many great matches as possible, and still put on like a great tournament.
Right, like kind of like the Olympics. Like they might lose, but they still like perform.
Yeah.
Imagine if backyard wrestling did something like that. Probably not the World Cup.
Well, yeah, I
Or
mean,
the
you could call it the World
best in
Cup
there.
if companies from Australia join. Then it'll be like worldwide.
If it goes
Yeah.
international, yeah,
That's
that would
like
be pretty good.
that company J&A, they have an international championship. Like if you want to make that championship
Right.
actually international, like come to me. Yeah.
Right, you'll get the true
Yeah,
meaning of international. Or be funny. Be funny if WWE actually did this.
Go on.
If the 24/7 champion, if like wrestlers from like different parts of the country wins it and they defend it in their country.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting concept. I'd like to see that.
Right, because like New York. I mean, not New York. The UK.
Yeah.
The new UK.
Has there been any? I mean, I know there has been, but like promotions from the UK, backyard wrestling promotions.
I think so. Like I know a few backyard wrestlers
I
that are
haven't
from
heard
UK.
of it. Yeah, like Will Ospreay, he's from the UK.
Right. Well, I think most of like the actual backyard wrestling federations are mostly in America.
Yeah.
Because like I think the other day you told me the other day that there's like no other wrestling federation in Australia.
A few, but like not many that are actually.
There is.
Many
Okay.
that are popular or well known.
Yeah. Oh. Because like, had you ever done research on them? Like, see like how they are and all that.
A few. There's one guy that I keep messaging. He's pretty good. He's from another company, but they haven't really like uploaded many videos. But I mean, there is some out there. If you do a lot more research, you'll be able to find a lot more. But yeah, there's not many that I know of. But.
What's your thoughts on Chris Jericho's entrance when the whole crowd sings
I love it
Judas's?
when the crowd sings the entrance song, like Shinsuke Nakamura too. I love that entrance, but singing Judas, it's pretty cool. Like especially considering it's his own song.
Right.
Yeah, I love it when a crowd sings people's themes. Who else? Bobby
Just
Roode.
imagine.
Bobby
We
Roode.
said again.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode. Yes. There was also another one where like John Cena.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like the crowd chants like the beat goes like da 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 da.
Sucks,
You
yeah.
know which part? The crowd chants like John Cena.
Yeah, I love that.
Sucks.
Sometimes the crowd is really creative.
I just right. Like they could chant anything and
Yeah.
it'll get over, you know? Like which one? Like sometimes if the match gets boring, like they just chant whatever they want. Like a popular one would be like the CM Punk chant.
Yeah, that's iconic. That one.
Right. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
There was a video of the Big Show talking to CM Punk. And he's like, if you left the WWE, I'll give the fans 1 week, 2 weeks before they move on to a different thing. Then it shows like years of the crowd chanting CM Punk. Right. But just imagine how Chris Jericho felt every time when he goes out there and the whole crowd is chanting, singing his song.
On the cruise ship, didn't it? Like that's cool. You're on
Right.
your own cruise ship, doing your entrance with your theme, and the crowd is singing along. Like that's.
It was loud.
How much better can you get than that?
Right. Like I don't think there's another entrance that could top that. I would say he has the best wrestling entrance of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Aleister Black's entrance.
I love Aleister Black because you know how he goes up. Funny part in ACW, we want to kind of recreate something like that, like just for shits and giggles and all that. So far, we have a ladder. It's just like one ladder. It's not like the V shape. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
All right, it's not a V shape. It's just like a straight ladder. You know what I'm talking about by the straight ladder?
I think I know.
Yeah, okay. All right, we make it flat, and like someone lays on it, then we lay him on the ground. Then like someone dresses like all black, so they won't like get caught attention. And like when the music hits, like he slowly gets raised and raised and raised, you know. And especially in Botchamania, I love watching the Aleister Black entrance. Like there's the Paul Blurt where he comes out of the pit bull, pit ball. Then there's another one where it's the Simpsons, like where Homer Simpson, he's laying down in the hospital bed, and the Aleister Black music hits. Then he like his head goes up. It's funny. It's just crazy how like wrestling like has changed the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I know it has changed like sports.
It's made many more athletes too. Like you have to be a special type of athlete to do wrestling.
Right. Sure, you might like be athletic and all that, but like you also need like the talent, skills, the charisma. Right. Because like sure you could wrestle, but like you also need to know how to cut a promo as well, because promo is part of wrestling.
You need all things like.
Right. You need to be unique. Like in wrestling, like sure all right, let's say to WWE, like sure the WWE might get you into the main roster, but the fans would decide to keep you there or not, you know? Unless if you're like Vince McMahon and you want Roman Reigns to stay up there, even though the fans don't.
I mean, Vince McMahon can do whatever he wants. I don't.
Right. He even said the N-word during live TV. And he did it in front of Booker T. That was funny.
It's a funny segment, but like, it's kind of unnecessary.
Right. Like, nobody could stop him. Like, he's in control of everything.
Like, he doesn't care.
Right. Like, nobody could stop him. Like, but if people, like, if some of the wrestlers have good ideas, Vince McMahon will probably, like, take it and take it to a different direction. Like, that's why Dean Ambrose left and joined AEW, because look at him. Like, look how bad he was being treated compared to AEW.
Just look at the Revival.
He's now champion. Too. Right. You won't believe how much wrestlers have good potential, but they get screwed. Like, which one's a good wrestler that's been screwed? Like, Finn Balor, Ricochet.
Kushida. in NXT. He's a big one.
Oh yes, especially CM
Yeah, you could
Punk,
say him too.
because like I agree with CM Punk. Like he was the champion for like WrestleMania 28. He should have main evented, but he wanted The Rock versus John Cena to main event. Like, don't get me wrong, like that would be a good match, but I feel like the champion should main event.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? But
because that's why they're a champion, not
yeah,
if you get my drift. All right, man. I guess that's all for the time that we had today.
Hour and 50 minutes, not bad. We could
world record.
I was going to say you could put it into 2 parts, but I mean, you may as well just keep it as one.
I mean, like, I don't think it should be divided 2 parts. Like, if someone wants to like watch it, then like take a break. Like,
if anyone has 2 hours on their hands, just check this out.
Right, and like, remember, you don't have to watch it like all of it. You could also like take breaks to it.
I mean, I hope everyone was entertained by that. Because it was pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Like, I feel like you should like listen to this podcast when you're free or like when you're going through your phone. Right. The thing I like about my podcast is like when I'm editing, I could like listen to it and like hear the stories that we told. And the thing I liked about my first ever podcast episode with Caution was that on YouTube, we did the face cam.
I reckon you should bring that back.
I would, but like it's a bit kind of difficult to.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough.
To do it, it's kind of complicated because like when we did it, we used 2 devices. One was to FaceTime, and the other one was to record our audio. But for me, no, we technically used 3, maybe 4, because 1 was to record the audio, 2 was to FaceTime, 3 is to like do the face cam, and the other one is to hear the audio.
Yeah.
So it's complicated.
I mean, that's fair enough. Though.
But you know what to say? Sure. Hard work pays off. Right. So is there anything else you want to say to the Backyard Wrestling Federation before we head out?
Everybody just needs to stay safe in these times. Hopefully it'll be over soon. And thank you to all the fans who have been supporting us. And once again, I apologize that we have been so slow with this content. But hopefully we can fix it up soon. And yeah, just thank you for watching everything. Thank you if you watched this whole podcast this long. If you made it to the end, congratulations.
Congratulations! Here, you get a
well
clap.
Done. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, but I feel like having long episodes are pretty good. Because we could tell
we could go on for
a lot of things.
There's so much we could talk about.
It's crazy that like, because I saw a meme where it says like, talking about my social life, it's like a minute, but talking about wrestling on the other hand, it's like ages. There's one quote I put on Instagram. It's when I was on my knee, I was looking at my hand like CM Punk, and I put a quote that says girlfriend, and it says and boyfriend and friend and like then it shows wrestling. Then I said wrestling has no end.
Yeah,
which is true. But I just want to say thank you, BXB, for being on my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the fans love you.
Certainly hope so.
Yeah. And believe it or not, hopefully soon, BXB could be back and Beyond the Yard. I just hope we could find another great time. Yeah. Because right now it's
you better get to bed,
2:25 a.m. Right. No, but the worst part is like I don't think we made any mistakes on this. Probably in the beginning, but like just imagine the editing.
There's a few things you need to cut, but other than that, I think we did pretty well. For my first podcast ever, too.
Right.
I'm pretty proud of it.
Right, and especially international. You could say Backyard Wrestling, especially Beyond the Yard, is international.
There you go.
Sorry ranking with Roman, but Beyond the
There you
Yard
go.
has already
That's
went international first.
That's the bragging right.
Not trying to be cocky, but just
Yeah.
trying to set records. Right. I might not be the top best wrestler like you and Matt Thunder, but I am sure
Yeah.
one of the best,
Yeah, you're good at
best guy
Yeah.
to entertain. Right. Because I know someday I'm gonna be in
Yep.
renting with Roman. I just can't wait what type of questions
well, Maximus,
he could ask
the
me,
ball is in your court.
Right. Because, like, I love interviewing wrestlers. I love interviewing you, Matt Thunder, Maximus Roman, Christian Archer, Caution, Eddie Bennett. I think that's all the wrestlers I interviewed so far. Probably there's more, but I'm
Yeah.
missing. But you get the idea. But I just want to know the
Yeah.
feeling of being interviewed. Like, actually being interviewed. Like, people interview me.
Right, yeah.
Because, like, they could tell me something like, why did you become a wrestler? And
Yeah,
I could,
you
like,
can just talk
extend that
forever.
for, like, 20 minutes. Right.
All right.
Well, yeah, man. I just hope everybody enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Yard. Thank you, ACW Universe. Thank you, BXB. Don't forget to check out CMW, especially Crash Carnival. And yeah,
Yep.
I would love to shake your hand just like I did with Maximus Rome, but we can't because you're 13 hours away, if that makes sense.
Oh, more than it actually.
So if I yelled outside of my
More
house,
than 13 hours.
wait, what's it again? Damn.
Yeah.
Just imagine the plane flight.
Wouldn't be short.
Right. But I wonder how, like, the time
It's
zone
weird.
works. Like, because, like, you know how I'm supposed to sleep at this time? Like, if I traveled right now, like, if you're sleeping, would I stay awake?
Yeah.
Or, like, would I go to sleep? Like, that's the thing. Would my body know, like, when I see the time, that means it's go to sleep? Or is it the sun? Or, like, because, like, do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of hard to explain. Because, like, your body knows, like, when you've been awake and when you're not. But I'm just glad we managed to make this
2 hours long
work.
Gotta love it.
Right.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, right, thank you. All right, I guess I'm actually going to end it here.
Yeah,
we could, like,
just
talk
gonna
for
keep
ages,
going.
like how we said
It
earlier.
was like 20 minutes ago, but here we are.
Yeah. Before you know it, someday ACW Beyond the Yard will have a 5-hour episode. Imagine having that episode. No, but be a funny episode?
Yeah, what?
If, like, I don't know, this might actually happen, but imagine a 1-hour full episode of me shooting on everyone. Imagine that.
Actually,
right. Remember, this is not hate.
Idea,
this is just for
fans want
for
it,
show.
What if we do a podcast with, like, multiple guests? Like, for example, Matt Thunder, Maximus Roman, me, Christian Archer, Derek Destroyer, all in one podcast. Like, fans, if you want to see that, comment down below, and I'm sure Derek can sort that out for you.
Yeah. Hashtag we are BYW. Or we are YouTube Wrestling.
Yeah.
Like Maximus Roman said.
Oh, you better get to bed, man.
All right. Yeah, man. Here we go. All right. I forgot. Is this the 5th time now I'm saying this? All right, but for real, actually, thank you, Beyond the Yard. Thank you, BXB. And is there anything else you want to say before
I think I pretty much said
I go to sleep? Right. Well, I want to say everything because, like, we could still be talking.
Here we go again.
Like, we could say that for the next episode.
Yeah, what?
You know what's funny? Had you ever heard a song that goes like, "This is a song that never ends"? Yeah. Who knows that making the longest episode turns out to be a nightmare because now we don't know how to end it. No, but for real, I'm actually gonna.
I'm just not gonna say anything. Okay, you do your outro.
Wow.
And let's.
All right. I tried to do it, but, like, man, I'm having so much fun. Especially, it's getting late.
You're not gonna be able to sleep.
2:31.
You're gonna be up all night.
Right. Before you know it, this episode turns out to be the
it'll
world's
probably be
longest
me that's going to
episode.
bed and you'll be waking up. Like, it's gonna go into like midnight for me. Alright.
It's a life cycle.
Yeah.
Let's say that. All right, for real. No more BS. Thank you, Beyond the Yard. Thank you, Backyard Wrestling. Thank you, BXB. I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Well, for you, it'll be like midnight or something.